Okay, good afternoon.
Prof.
Selamat tengah hari. Alright. Okay. So, hopefully you're doing well, Alright. Jadi kesihatan. Sekarang musim COVID, saya pun batuk ni.
Batuk ya.
Kan? Almost 2 minggu dah batuk. Kan?
Dia season demam ni, demam batuk.
Yes, baru lepas demam 1 week before. Tapi masih lagi batuk tak hilang. Sometimes badan okey, sometimes badan rasa lemah. Ya. One, kita ambil ubat batuk, badan kita akan rasa lemah lah, mengantuk lah. Anyway, okay. We try to finish for Taufik lah, as our discussions. And then, Mr. Raja, bila you punya final exam, Sorry
Tadi
for asking.
Kak check dia letak SKC letak 31 Disember.
Berapa bulan? 20?
31 Disember.
Oh, 31 Disember. Okay, okay.
Dia cakap dia akan upload 25th.
Okay, 31st December, Alright, sure. Maybe kita akan ada satu sesi lagi lah, untuk kita discuss for the preparation final exam. Just only for half an hour only lah, ataupun 15 minit je. Alright, okay. So I think we continue our discussions about
Prof, one more Prof.
Yes.
Yang midterm tu kita kena submit macam ni ya, midterm tu.
Okay, midterm tu you boleh submit dalam Eurox. Okay.
Dalam Europe saya tadi sebab dalam Europe ada term paper,
Okay.
short and question,
Okay.
dan ada case study, ada 3 je.
Oh, dalam midterm tak ada
Tak ada.
Tak ada, tak apa. You WhatsApp kat saya, tak apa. Ataupun email boleh, either one lah.
Boleh.
Mana yang you fikirkan senang lah. Boleh, Mr. Raja?
Ya, boleh.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Alright, thank you. Excuse me. Alright. Okay. So I think we continue our discussions. Thanks for your coming in online class. So Miss Azril Israel, they already informed to me lah. They have things to do lah. Alright. Okay. Alright. So we continue our discussions. Alright. Okay, the intimidations of individuals online, cyber stalking and pedophilia. Alright. Excuse me. The chapters explore criminological issues related to the online communication, but focus upon somewhat of different phenomena. Alright. The online behavior considered here comprise communication which are directed by individual and specific person, and which are unwelcome by their recipient and content, obscene, threatening, or inappropriate words or image. Right. Okay. So normally, okay, nowadays, okay, I think you also me, okay, we receive a lot of unwelcome or related what we call this informations that to me lah, okay. So of course nowadays we receive a lot of the improper message, improper image, okay, to be make us what we call this interest, okay, about that information. Okay, so that is how the scammer or cyber stalking that try to any angles that they wants to do basically. Okay, the presented and the targeted harassment of the individual via electronic communication such as email. All right, so they do a lot of things. Sometimes they do something because of they try to have that your information in order that to track, okay, someone in terms of the finance, okay, finance informations. All right, other than on the banking, on the financial institution, or anything that can be what we call it scam on that particular information. The second issue is the use of internet communication. Children. Okay, this one is okay. Such behavior may be purely virtuous in character and retreat in the online environment. Yes. However, in some of instance, they may serve for preparation for further physical response and victimizations. All right. So sometimes the important is they want to have the money, not using the proper way, using the bad way. Okay, using the improper way. So it's not easy that they try to track us because of they try to hit something because of course someone it's not easy to give any information, important information or private information, confidential information. But they try to make something happens that in order someone dipaksa to give that information and finally seseorang akan terperangkap from that condition. So the intention is they want to get the money, but in way to get the money they create the situations that anyone is trapped in that condition that finally give the money. It's not only that involved with the individual. Also, sometimes we can see on the company, someone have a responsible on the finance department. Okay, all right. So they trap on this scenario, and finally, this happened to the finance. Who's responsible on the finance? Okay, all right. Okay, in the public mind, stalking has tended to be associated with the observed pursuit of stability by psychological disturbed fact. All right, okay, so this is only for information. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So that is the scenario. Okay. According to the data collected by C2, okay, it involves 92% of the cases are the form of the stacking, include in instance messaging service. Yes. Okay. Messaging service. Sometimes, okay, we um receive the message. Okay. We receive the calls. Okay, or we receive the email. Okay. Sometimes as some of the persons that they um uh, what we call this they feel that this is the real information. That is why the scammer try to represent with any department, okay, that government has a functional to have enforced in any regulation. So someone be afraid with that condition and finally follow the instruction without any concern. Maybe sometimes that the scammer already warning that to the person, please don't share. If you share that, you will receive any big problem. Maybe they will say or they will say to afraid on the regulation basically. So of course, someone is not that experienced. So we don't talk about nowadays because of nowadays. Excuse me. We have a lot of information that we can learn basically, but previous that one, the scammers start to do the word starting. Okay, so a lot of the issue happen and then someone be realize that the information is right from the government department. Then finally, they get trapped into the condition, right? So of course they were lost for the more than 1,000, more than 100,000 money. Okay, some sort of that also. In company also sometimes they have a problem. All right, the trip also for the company, but maybe they have a change on the what we call a method that they more or less, okay, they have a try to have a collaboration with a company, which is talk about the future project, talk about the what we call is contract, which is all this thing is lying, all this thing lying, but they try to show the real scenario. They create, they create the website, they create the website to show that that is the real, that is the real company, they show the contract, everything. Because what, because what, of course, if let's say for individuals, trap scammer, okay, the scammer basically they do what we call is more or less on the straight line action. Other than that, for the company, okay, for the company trap of the scammer, they use for another method, which is, okay, they plan proper on the more or less on the significant to the functional of company. For example, comes to the scammer on the contract, okay, collaborations, all right, which is they show a very good, of course, on this scenario, they show in the very good purpose, very good condition, ROI is excellent. And then, of course, an established company that if, let's say, the company wants to join for international company, we can open the office, all these things. Yeah. But by simple way is, if, let's say, that company already have all these facility, okay, with all this the capacity, okay, capability. Why the company should we invite us, for example, to join for the future project? Yeah, so that is why. But sometimes, because of the eagers to develop, to expand the business, sometimes kita akan terperangkap on that particular conditions. Alright. So other than that, okay, sometimes, okay, to be tracked untuk terperangkap juga, sometimes scammer be represent from the bank. Okay. I personally have experience on that particular. One of the scammer that show they are represent from the Stand Chart on the Singapore. In fact, they show the staff card. But of course, all the particular information that we can create, it's not too difficult that we can create. All right. And then, in fact, also my bank also. Okay, my bank also, I have an experience. Okay, receive on the board of director. Of course, while we get the particular, we can see that the information. For example, my experience in my bank, okay, they do one of the board of director in my bank. I use all these things that I email to the corporate communication, okay, for the CF to have the action. In fact, in the state chart also. Okay. So this is the scenario happen, okay, in the particular condition, right? Then more or less, okay, scammer try to do any angles that can be basically. Yeah, of course, on the technology cyber, okay, help us to make more easy on the action, on the payment, on the transaction, on the transition, all these things. But because of too fast, because of too technology, someone with the bad attitude, they will have this opportunity to make the money using the bad, okay, way, using the improper way, right? Other than that, they can use any angles that they want. Okay, it's not only from information, it's not only from email calling. They come also to the contract. They come also with the financial issue. They will come also with the sexuals. They will come also with the planning, all these things. Okay, but end of the day, okay, they will ask to, okay, prepare and pay the money. Okay, for example, on contract, they will show everything, they have say everything, they will show the contract, okay, the figures of contract, the collaboration, all right, the locations, everything, the preparation. But end of the day, we need to pay. This is how happen, right? Okay. Other than that, also to be more specific, that they will use for financial institution to track the customer sometime. Okay, so of course, if let's say we don't have, if let's say we not have the more information about that, so kita akan percaya that we in the track on the condition basically. All right. So of course, in online, okay, because of online, the key is we don't know. This is how happen. Okay, that is how. Jika identity tidak dapat diketahui, of course that is easier. Someone can do anything. Compare that we have in the physical condition. That is why, okay, online purpose that make a lot of things. They can make a lot of a good thing, but at the same time, okay, it can be make also for the negative things. Okay, so that is how come to this scenario. What is important that how we can have our good attitude. Okay, of course, we can't have if let's say this is not our belongs money. Okay, we need to earn the money using from the proper work and proper lane. All right. Okay. However, critics have argued to risks of online victimizations have been grossly overestimated and inflated. Yes. All right. The danger presented by internet. So can be anyone, can be anything that can have in the internet purposely. Right? So from this side, what is important that how we manage and all these things. Okay, whatever is come, whatever is happen, that how we evaluate all these informations. Yeah, sometimes this is a real information. For example, okay, maybe job, job opportunity, right? Job opportunity from the international company. Okay, so this is the real Okay, so this is what happened. All right. So come to the job opportunity also. Sometimes we need to be careful. Camera also like to do on this particular information to track the persons that apply the position. Okay. And then end of the day, before go, we need to pay. Okay. All right. For maybe for your information that if let's say we have our position in the international company or in the other international country, should the company cover all the expenses? It's not the workers basically. Eh? Maybe this is a happen. All right. Okay. Okay, next we continue our discussions. All right. Policing the internet. Okay. The relationship between the public police and technology date back to their origin in the early 19th century. Okay. Yeah. Traditional as responsive organizational design counter the danger produced by urban migration. Caused by 18th industrial technology, the police had by the second half of the 19th century situated themselves as an all-purpose emergency service. Okay. As a consequence, it has left within the organizational and occupational culture of the police in the state to protect the public and claim ownership over policy. After the police, their constitutional position has changed considerably since the formation. Many of the original police principles survive through adapted to modern. Okay, and then so on. Okay, however, the increasing of pervasiveness of the internet along with the global transformative impact create a range of entirely new demand upon the public policy. Internet-related offending take place within a global context, whereas crime tend to be nationally defined. But policing the internet is also complex affair by the national policing and security being networked and another. Okay, another Johnson and Cherry 2003. While the application of concept of network and node security may be disputed in the terrestrial world, Hartford listed 2004. Now is more networking and now that is a cyberspace. Okay. Okay, so objective that to explore how the public police are situated a network security to contribute the policy harmful behavior in cyberspace. The question The question, our understanding of cybercrime to identify The tension arising between the globalization of harmful behavior and specific the jurisdictional definition of crime. The network and other architecture of the internet policing to locate and secure the role of the police. Okay. This is about the policing, right? Yes, policing is very important. Policing of internet. Basically, Malaysia also have a policing, right? And then maybe someone will ask why, okay? The scammers still do their work, still what we call this, continue the works, right? Still uh it's like that, not afraid that what they do basically. Okay. Okay. Actually, we have already our regulations for technical all this thing, but because of but then it's quite hard to make the action. It's not that because of the regulation that are hard to have their actions and everything. Okay, because of this is about the cyber. This is about the cyber life. This is about the cyber action. Compare that if, let's say, we face on the physical action, there's more reliable, okay, clearly, and then we can differentiate. But on the cyber, it's quite hard because to tackle that person, it's only that we have a few information, or IP and so on. Right, which is sometimes also can be duplicated, can be copied, right, on this information basically. Compare that if let's say we have a what we call it, the physical, okay, clearly that we know that there is a person. But this is how challenging nowadays by regulation that how a police, okay, how that the enforcement do their work basically. Of course, they have maybe a technique, skill, or system that can track. But then it's quite hard if let's say they involve in between the international, because they need to have the cooperation with the Interpol, right? Okay. Cyber terrorism, information welfare, phishing, spam, service attack, hacktivism, hackline, identify thief, online gambling, plus the criminal exploitation of a new generation of the pornography and psychedelics. Okay, all these things that can be happen. Why? And nowadays we can specific the scammer action because a lot of the what we call it specific action that come from the scammer on the cyber. Yeah. Although there is a failure with split consensus to the cybercrime, they must confuse as to what they actually are with this the post. Yes. Yeah. All right. So excuse me. By right, if once we open, one we surf to internet, we also don't know what is the potential happen. Okay, one we surf on internet. The act to confusion of our constitutions of cybercrime influence practice of media, practitioner of academic commentator to refer to judge about any offense involved as a computer as a cybercrime. All this acts shape public understanding about cybercrime and has arguably lead to the difference between the level of cybercrime experienced by individual, which is quite low, and the level of cybercrime that will exist with a quick heart. This disparity given rise to the issue gap between the public demand for the policing cybercrime and the level of service that the police can realistically provide. It is therefore important to look what is being understood as cybercrime because it has contributed to setting the policing agenda. Furthermore, without reliable sources of knowledge, misinformation cannot be countered, misunderstanding and repeated, and this is not firm platform to establish a responsive criminal justice policy. Since the cybercrime are the product of network computer that we define in terms of the informational network, globalized transformation of deviant of criminal behavior by network technology. This transformation give internet user a global reach, new capacity from distributed peer-to-peer networking and penalty gave the clear and asymmetric ability to enable one person to simultaneously reach many. The characteristic also contribute to the recognition of the division of criminal labor. On the one hand, automatic and reskilling, while on the other hand, reskilling empowerment to single agent who can single control complete or complex criminals activity. If internet transformation are the key to understanding cybercrime, that in order to understand their impact, it is necessary to consider what happens if the internet is removed from the equation. By applying a simple transformation test, there are different groups of cybercrime criminal opportunity can be identified as a point on a spectrum. Okay. All right. So this is about the information for the policing, right? What is going on, and then what interrelated between the policing. Okay. Well, paper has explored the challenging that cybercrime both for the police and their mandate from the public. Sam mapped out of the nature of the cybercrime issue, highlighted some of the public misunderstanding about it before examining the role played by the public police in the policy in the internet within the broader architecture of the internet governance. It has illustrated how the internet and the crime and the criminal behavior it transforms, challenging the process of order maintenance and law enforcement. Not only does internet-related offending take place, within a global context, while crime tends to be nationally defined by the police public mandate prioritize some offenders over others, particularly where these are the perceived dangerous others, as this is production of child pornography and image. So this is about the policing that we need to clearly. Okay. And then, of course, the policing is there. The action will be taken, but it's not easy compare that in a physical crime. Okay, that is why scammer still happen, still increase of the action rather than awareness on the Malaysian already there, but they still use that because they're very confident on their uh non-transparent on the actions. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Next, the internet carries with a significant new risk of criminal victimizations that present some pretty challenging for regulator and criminal justice agencies. However, attempt to the police the internet for the purpose of crime control also rise serious dilemmas and danger. Center here the tensions between the civilians and monitoring of online activity on the one hand, and then need to protect user privacy and combinationality on the others. Law enforcement agent need to be identified, offended, collect evidence online or crime and so on, right? Okay. Well, authority argue that is a legitimate need to access such detail in the course of law enforcement. The potential for abuse is to appearance, right? Okay, rather than the monitoring the physical extent of the bodily action of the internet, civilian observe and collect the digital photoprint that all online activity live in their wake. All web users, whether they know is or not, leave is a data trail, the electronic record of their mouse click and install, the website they have visited, the search they have run, the material they have downloaded, the personal information they have entered the word and image they have seen via email and so on. From data, from such data evaluations, it is possible to construct a digital double of simulation of individual and obvious activity without even having their engaged in physical observation. Yes. Okay. From a web user online activity, it is possible to discover on track more other thing on his consumer tools, preferences, and preferences, sexual orientation, fantasy, fetish, just political opinion, and systematics. Yes. Professional interest and carry aspiration, personal association, friendship, and intimate relationship. Again, for the King 2001. Hughes and Roosevelt. The collection associated data are now routinely gathered, bought and sold by the business. One digital reconstruction can have profound impact and access to social good and resource opportunity. For example, the aggregation of such data can be used in deciding whether now we give a credit, loan, other financial services, whether or not will be issued agent death or injury and accident. Yes. Okay. Beyond the commercial use of this data, we cannot divert the way in which state of other security agency utilize electronic monitoring to determine whether or not we present a risk to the economy. Excuse me. Or the safety and morality. Indeed, it has been suggested that use of electronic database is becoming even more central to the entire apparatus of criminal justice, where computerized information processing be used both of construct offenders or immediate punishment. Pavina 2004. While advocate of both business and law enforcement may be failing about such developments since there is necessary and desirable, many other observers express alarm about the way in which civilians can be used to stop, classify, control, and exclude. Okay. So the development of internet civilians. All right. Okay. All right. The summary. Okay, the chapter have dealt with the dilemma and tension they have arisen from expanded effort to institute greater that civilian and monitoring is response to cybercrime. From the perspective of law enforcement agency, the ability to use anonymity, okay, according a serious in minimum tackling internet crime. States have taken this claim seriously by instituting even greater monitoring and interception of online communication. However, it is clear that such measures have clearly breached the limit of right to privacy that many citizens of liberal democratic countries are reasonable expect. The way of regulative innovation that week September 2001 has barely served to amplify state the security agency ability to monitor citizens. With its many cases, several limited accountability and democratic control. The tensions between civilian and privacy enhancement also appear insofar as the same tool that can be exploited from criminal activity afford using protection from criminal victimization. This is now hit clearly that in case of inscriptions, we can be viewed systemically a serious threat to law enforcement effort and as an indefensible resource from businesses and individuals to protect themselves from crime. The situation lead to competing agenda between different state agencies with the imperative of economic growth and law enforcement clashing with a calm to the public access to encryption tools. The outcome of such consultations and negotiations in the coming years will have a profound consequences for the social development on the internet. Its ability as an arena from criminal enterprise and its accessibility as a space in which civil culture, social relations may develop. All right, so this is about the chapter 11. All right. All right, and then the last is chapter 12, conclusion, looking towards the future of cybercrime. Yes. Okay. Cybercrime poses a potential existential threat to our society, whether completely unprepared. Whether or not Chris Robert, the security researcher who's recently claimed they have hacked into the flight control system of plane while it was in flight, were telling the truth about its ability to hijack a plane, were most definitely threat to the era of cybercrime. The idea to criminal could be electronic, okay. As everything connected to the internet will become more vulnerable to the crime. Yes, in February 2015, the world found out the criminal organization has stole up to 1 billion from the bank around the world. Over the past 2 years, hacking into their system, transferring money out, and having bank ATM automatically. This is cash that they pick up from the machine. So we can see that on 2015, the 1 billion happened on the bank hacking systems and so on. All right. So the cyber robbery are still going accordingly to security expert Kaspersky Lab. It's a very beginning of cybercrime era, according to Mark Goodman. After that future crime, everything is connected. Everyone is vulnerable, and what we can do of it. The spoken is magazine in future festival. Okay. Right now, technological change is occurring at an exponential rate so fast that our political and legal institutions are completely unable to keep it up. Intel predict that they will go from 50 billion internet connected device now to 200 billion in 2020. The FCC's number device that can be hacked and what can't even keep our existing laptop and smartphone and internet safe now. Just look at the target branch, which is somewhere around 17 million people had their private data stolen by hacker. Yes. All right. So President Obama recently talked about the cybersecurity in the State of Union address, call for enhancement penalty for identified thief, gunmen, and said during there he talked, going to need to think much grander if we're going to solve the problem in the way we think to manage the project for security. Okay, the democratization as the powerful tool which gives ordinary people access to the thing that the government and large corporations use to control exclusively is awesome. It's just that democratization of technology given to some tools to those who use to for it. And many of us don't realize just how vulnerable we are, how much we vulnerable we become as with everything to computer. What most of us does quit understand is that we are the first second of the first minute of the first hour of internet revolution. A year, modernist changing coming in this culture, yes. Just like the inventions of the train made it easy for the criminal to rob a few hundred people at a time. Instead, a few people is stagecoach in internet made it easy to rob a few thousand or million people. Future of cybersecurity, cybercrime and security. Over the next 5 years, we can expect to see 146 billion data record be stolen. According to new report by Gfin Research, the firm estimate that 12 billion was misappropriated this year, but the number will continue to rise, reach 33 billion in 2023. Okay. By 2034, the collective of data breach will reach its 5 trillion, according to study by Juniper Research. The study predicted that the astronomical amount will be the result of increased fine due to large part to the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR), California Consumer Privacy Act, or any data privacy law to come in the next 5 years. However, we should expect to see 70% rise in cybercrime during that time period. Another reason for the spike in the data breach cost. The study anticipated artificial intelligence (AI) will be responsible for much of the increase. Not just because of more organizations will be rely on in the future, but also become actors with utilize technology to launch advanced cyber attack. This of the cost is all predictive, probably accurate based on historical cyber threat. But it is also raised the question, what is the future of cybercrime? What will the threat landscape look like? Not so much not so much in 5 years. But in one of two, the more now what the future will look like, the more of accurate varied analysis will be. Looking at the technology of today can guide prediction from the future. Technology that is in the early stage of popularity is at its surface point. The ideal time from organization to build out for predictive theoretic analysis. Most of us remember how malware attack used to be focused on Windows machine. Apple user feeling superior because they were saved from a cyber attack. Then Apple become more mainstream on their operating system and no longer immune from the attack. It was the same with mobile app and now become more mainstream in both of attack and weapon. As artificial intelligence sustained to present, they will grow stronger. And their incident knowledge as they will speed up control over data and entire networks. And it will be nearly impossible to stop, but AR is not the only threat on the horizon. If the world becomes more connected and everything is turned into a more smart device, expert the cybercrime criminals to spread malware from one device to another, to talk to each another. Through the IoT, the actor will be to gain credentials that will allow them to access and control all the devices in one organization and household. It's slightly too capitalistly, which become more mainstream, which is why you should be taking and how to protect the taking now. Cybersecurity loses a cost of doing business in the digital, but doesn't have to be case if you look to future is some predict analysis to what is coming. It may require thinking outside the box and using the appropriate anticipate from future cybercrime. Anticipatory compliance showing that the organization study and responding to potential threat should be embraced by organizational, not necessarily from the compliance lens, but from the security and privacy lens, say Tom Garuma, Senior Director, Cisco. Okay. There is a tendency from organization to be reactionary. Maybe it's easier to put our fire after they will begin, but it is also never ending project. Yes. You may know exactly what is coming, but looking at the past and understanding what happened in the present makes predicting theory is lost easier. If you can anticipate what the future will bring, you can better prepare your organization for the worst. You may just keep from contribute to 2004, 5 trillion data breach fine from being the victim of cybercrime. Must noise, right? Okay. Our nation need to review and rethink how they conduct business and protect their asset and data. The underlying issue is many businesses from the priority is to collect data, not secure it. Formulas this louder. Lack of end of encryption and in some cases neglected to encrypt data and just some of the factors that exhibit to problem and the impact of data breach of the user. A report showed that 90% of the praised study could have prevented and 29% of those with actual caused by employee accidentally due to the lack and internet control. Collaboration and communication are also critically important, underpinning and the issue to challenging for many industrial of other stakeholders in consider the need to collaboration in cybersecurity. The internet is highly independent system and not single actor can adopt fix all solutions. It requires collaboration among vendor and manufacturer to ensure that devices are secured by design, perform update, and make configuration change. The study finding reinformed to nations the security need to embrace from the bottom within an organization, especially to collect the personal data individuals. There is a growing sentiment that our organization need to do more than protect personal data to make more responsibility where there is a breach. Okay, so now today we have a PDPA, all right, to secure our personal data. Now today, a lot of actions that we can do. But anyhow, of course, we don't know which angles that we share our information. Sometimes that we forget already. Where in any system or any application or any information that we share. All right. Okay, organizations that handle private data need to clarify the accountability and full transparency and how data is handled. If there is breach, there we should be on the shoulder of the handle the data. Okay. Connecting our car, pacemaker, and plant and power grid to computer give access to computing power that with universables decide. But it is also means that we have a security theory that we universable decide go to sort of things that need to be national priority, a big space race of the Manhattan project. If want to have a great modern society, we are going to have to protect the critical infrastructure that are running the world. Today, all these computers are hackable, which means that 21st century model with that we're building a digital house card that can come crossing at any moment. We need to protect it because right now we don't have a backup plan. Yes, right. So this is about, we discuss about cybercrime. More or less, it's not only involved with finance, it's not only involved with financial, it's involved also all these things. Why we focus on finance? Because of the intentions to do the scammer action because of money, right? So that is why we can see that a lot of action, basically the government do, a lot of regulation that we implement, a lot of policy that, okay, we do, but anyhow, because of cyber, because of condition of cyber, they stay open. Because of to tackle, to trap, to be action on the cyber, it's not easy. That is why nowadays most people is bad attitude like to do on cybercrime compared of physical. All right. Okay, so I think that's all for me. Okay, Mr. Raja.
Yes, Prof.
Okay, so I think finish our topic that. All right. And then